scallops, a popular restaurant dish that I order all the time. I've asked Chef Preston here to help me make it at home.
Well, we're certainly going to try to replicate one of your favorite dishes in restaurants and find a way to bring that home. We've got some beautiful ingredients for a simple salad. We're going to pan-sear some beautiful sea scallops, and we're going to be done in no time at all. We're going to start out with some fennel. Fennel, beautiful vegetable, underutilized a lot of times. You don't really see it this way a lot of times. A lot of times it's already thin little shreds in the salad already. We're going to take this whole head, you're going to slice it really thinly, and we're going to get those beautiful thin strands that you find in the salad at the end. We're going to show you how to do that.
Yeah, you know, one of the coolest things about just learning how to cook is we're not used to seeing our vegetables in their pure form. So I would never guess that this is a fennel. I'm used to seeing it in my salad, sliced up very small.
Well, and the difference between that is anything that's prepackaged in a bag already, this is going to bring vibrancy and freshness to it, and it's also showing exactly where it came from. So once you go ahead and take, split that in half, we're going to take the core out and then make really thin slices on the mandolin that we've got there.
Is there a trick to cutting this, to slicing it in half? Should I just go down right there?
Anytime I'm teaching a new culinarian or a cook or anything else, we try to find a way for the vegetable to rest where it has a solid base. This fennel has the most solid base at the bottom here. So I would just, if it was me, I'd just take it here, put my hands here, and now I have my hand above my knife. And then I'm just going to slice straight down through. The fennel can't move around because it's on a solid base. I remove my knife, and then I remove my hand.
Oh yeah, because this way it
just
can
like
roll
that,
down a little bit more.
It's got too much roll, and sometimes you can have a little casualty of your own finger or anything else. And so this way, we've split the fennel in half, and we've used the natural base of the fennel to make a sturdy place for us to chop on it. So now if you want to take out the core, we'll start with some of those slices, and I'll get started on the orange we're going to use for that.
And this is the core right here.
Absolutely. The core runs here. The bottom of it, you can see the root here, comes right in here. We just want to make a triangular cut, and then just take that out. And then it's a little woody, a little dry, not exactly the best eating part of it. We can easily remove it there. Perfect. That's exactly how we do it.
Pops right out.
You get started on that. I'm going to show you how to work on an orange that we're going to use for the salad as well.
Okay.
So the same principle that we're looking for the fennel. Beautiful. That's perfect. So then same principle. We've got an orange. It rolls around and everything else. We're going to try to find a way to develop a base for that. We cut off one side, cut off the other, and it sits there.
Now it's stable.
A lot of times you see these beautiful salads that have the little perfect little segments and things like that. In French, we call that a supreme. And what it really is the perfect part of the meat without any of the pith or the bitter part around it. So we're just going to take this, and we're going to take our knife and follow the contour of the orange. And see, we've exposed the flesh here, and we've removed all the pith.
So you want to go straight to the flesh, but
Absolutely.
gently, so you won't remove too much.
And I'm just taking the knife and making slow, thin slices around, and we're following the contour of the orange, and I'm removing all of the pith and exposing the beautiful slices underneath. You better continue slicing that fennel.
I got it. I'm mesmerized by the color of this orange. I was just thinking about how fresh it smells and
Absolutely.
how few ingredients we have in the salad.
And that's really what this is about. It's about the ingredients that we've got there. So I've got just a few there. I got a little bit there, and you can just pick it up and trim off the extra ends. So we've got an orange there ready to segment.
Is that enough fennel?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
If you didn't have oranges that were in season, you could go to your marketplace and you could certainly pick up a grapefruit, a different kind of orange, a favorite citrus or anything else. This entire recipe is about finding what's best and fresh in the marketplace. We've got the fennel here, and now if you will, the orange has the white little lines inside of here. We're going to cut on one side of it first, all the way down, and you'll feel the resistance, and then on the other side, and then
Oh, that's beautiful. It's just the flesh of the orange, the
exactly.
sweetness.
And we've taken that away. We've removed all the bitter parts, and we've just removed the beautiful little segments there. You want to continue doing that?
Yes, definitely. That looks gorgeous. So I've seen this in restaurants, and I always wonder how they did that.
Very, very simple. It's a little time consuming, but I think that the extra time and the extra effort, it really pays off because you've got beautiful orange flavor without any of the stringy parts or the seeds or anything else. And that's pretty simple. This is the first time you've supremed an orange, and you're making this fancy French thing. It's the first time you've ever done it.
Exactly.
And I've showed you how to do it in 30 seconds. We can easily do this. Everybody can supreme an oranges, and the dividends are huge.
And this is a good trick of things that restaurants do to make your food look appetizing and then taste good.
Absolutely. The look of it's great. The jewel-like tones there. We have beautiful color without any of the white around it, so it's not bitter. It's all just the best parts of it. I'm going to grab the scallops, get started on those. You can finish this, and then we'll do prep the watercress.
Okay, great. Oh, these colors are just awesome. I love these orange.
So I've got some sea scallops here, and I've got them on a little bit of paper towel. One of the things about searing any kind of fish or scallops or anything in particular is you want to minimize the amount of moisture. So I've just taken a paper towel and blotted that just a little bit, and that's going to help us get that beautiful caramelization that we find on the scallops. I'll start my pan. Medium-high heat, because when we're caramelizing, we're browning sugar. So we need some pretty high heat with it. We're going to use a skillet there. We're going to add some olive oil.
Now, I love scallops, one of my favorite seafood dishes. And I always hear, what's the difference between a diver scallop and a regular scallop? Because I see diver scallops are a little bit pricier. And
absolutely, you'll see both of them in the marketplace. There's diver scallops, and then so that's one method of harvesting the scallop. And then there's regular sea scallops, and those are harvested two different ways. One is done with a large apparatus that is behind a boat and is dragged, and they harvest lots and lots of scallops at one time. And a diver scallop is actually a diver that dives down and grabs the scallop, puts it in a bag, and brings it up top.
That is so interesting. I had no idea that it was physically a diver. I know sometimes I thought it was a place. Where's diver? I didn't realize.
And there's so much of that going on with restaurant foods and labeling and everything else. Always ask your wait person or the chef that's there or the manager or something. If you don't understand a term and things like that, it may mean something that's an added quality bonus. It may mean something that's about seasonality. It may be in a single farm and things. Great question. These are our hand-harvested diver scallops. They're sea scallops, so they're larger. The bay scallops are little tiny ones that you see sometimes. And these are just in really great shape. We're going to season these with just a little bit of salt. Not too much, but these have some natural salinity in them from the ocean. And then just a little bit of pepper. So we're doing that. We're letting our pan heat up here. We've got the fennel done. Let's go ahead and get the watercress prepped, and we'll get the dressing going.
And I imagine with good seafood, you don't have to add that many ingredients.
Well, and that's the whole thing. If you have a dish and it's comprised of scallops, let the scallops be the star. You know,
right.
And so this is trying to find a great backdrop to put these beautiful scallops on.
So this is how watercress comes when you buy it at the store?
Depends. Some different watercresses. This one's grown hydroponically. That means it's grown in a kind of a water medium. Mm-hmm. So it's got beautiful frilly curly leaves.
Yeah, definitely.
It has the roots still attached to it. Easy way to prep this is just to take this bunch that's already here like that, cut right above that, throw the what's below away, and use what's above.
Okay, so let me do that.
While you're finishing up that, come over here and we'll start the scallops. So you've got your watercress.
Good. So I should take about half of those?
Yeah, we'll need about half of it. Put that right in there.
Okay.
So we've got our pan, and you can see we're starting to get a little bit of smoke.
Mm-hmm. And that's okay?
Absolutely.
Oh, perfect. So you want it hot enough to hear that initial sizzle.
Sizzles are good. Now, we're going to try to caramelize these. I've used that word a couple of times. Caramelization is the browning of sugars. One of the main things that we're going to try not to do is have moisture, because moisture makes things not caramelize, and we're going to try not to move these as much as possible.
Okay.
The longer we let them sit, the more they're going to get that beautiful brown color on them that is replicating what you have in a restaurant. We've used a pan that's big enough not to crowd them. Mm-hmm. That's important as well, so that when they're not all overlapping each other, they don't produce extra steam, and that way you get that beautiful brown crust on them. So
we want to just let them sit and don't bother them, because I know when you're first starting to cook, you feel like you have to be moving the pan and swirling things around, but when you're
a lot of the guys
searing.
You see on TV moving pans and things like that, that's just for show.
Okay, great.
For real cooking and things,
Just let it sit.
Find the right heat, find the right size pan, get enough oil in it and seasoning, and then put the scallops in there, let them go. We're going to let those go while we finish the salad.
Okay, great.
We've got our watercress. You're going to grab the lemon. Let's juice that, put it inside.
Just 1/2?
Yeah.
Again, these citrus flavors are going to be amazing with the
Absolutely.
scallops.
So I'm going to help you out. I've got just a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. Grab the olive oil. Add that to the whole thing. Add your fennel and your oranges.
Oh, look at those colors. They're
Perfect.
beautiful.
Now you can use the best tongs that you have, your hands. Mix this all up, and we'll get ready to plate.
You have to use your hands when you're cooking. Just make sure they're clean, and you'll have a better relationship with your food that way.
Well, and the connection between food and touching it and everything else, it really, really brings everything together. When you buy everything that's in a bag, and this is really encouraging you to find 3 good ingredients, work with them, and your connection to them and the end product is going to be so much more enriching than if you just bought it out of a bag and open the top and you dump it out.
Yeah.
So we've got our salad's made.
Oh,
So now,
this
we've
smells so good. The
That's
aromas are just
finished.
coming up.
our scallops, we've got them browned. Now we're going to reduce the heat just a little bit.
So you want to look for that brown right around the
Absolutely.
scallops because they're starting to sear.
Well, and you can see that these are starting to caramelize. So, and they'll release from the pan very, very easily.
Oh, yeah. So the point here is to start with the right amount of oil and high heat.
Absolutely.
So that this is going to happen really quickly.
And you don't want to crowd your pan. So we've browned our scallops.
Beautiful. How long? So this whole process is just a couple minutes.
Absolutely.
So easy.
Now, I like my scallops medium rare, medium in the side. So we're done. We've turned them. We're going to turn it off. We're going to get our plate.
Okay.
We'll bring our scallops to there, and we're done. Grab the plate. Let's actually make 2 plates.
Okay, great. Got another one right there.
I'm going to show you one, and then you do the other.
Okay.
So we've got this beautiful watercress.
I love how you and the best restaurants incorporate all the different colors and textures into a plate. That's what makes us eat at restaurants all the time.
Well, textures and everything else is so important to us. Everybody loves crunchy and savory and something that's creamy, and so we're trying to find the best versions of all of that and incorporate that. So we've gotten a little bit of our salad there. So then we've kind of left a little bit of our segments of orange and put them around the outside. So you kind of do the same thing there, and I'll bring the scallops to us. So our scallops have seared on one side. We've turned them over to let them finish on the other.
And they're easily releasing on the other side.
Absolutely.
Mine is looking pretty professional.
Absolutely. and that just goes to show you can have professional results at home without having a tremendous amount of time.
These are amazing.
So we've got our pan-seared scallops with our citrus and watercress salad with a little bit of fennel, 15 minutes at the most. You can have a restaurant quality meal at home and impress all your friends.
Can you imagine making this at home? Now you can. We did this in under 15 minutes from start to finish.
It's about the great ingredients and finding those. If I was going to have a little wine with this, I'd probably have a Riesling, a Cabernet, or something from Germany. We've got the sweetness of the scallop, something with a little citrus note to it. Just really, really easy. Find your wine professional. Take my advice, take their advice. Make friends with somebody. Find some great wine for this. Find some great scallops, and enjoy your evening.
Let's try it. Bon appetit, chef.
Bon appetit.